power. Kea Simone. With Kea Simone. Kea Simone. Never lose yourself. Trying to find someone else. Hey. Women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Never lose yourself. Trying to find someone else. Women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Never lose yourself. Trying to find someone else. Woman with power. Woman with power. Say yeah, yeah. If you a woman with power, say yeah, yeah. Hey, women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Women of power. Kea Simone. Never lose yourself trying to find someone else.
Hey, hey, lovely people. It is your girl, Kea Simone, coming to you straight from the 313. And you already know what it is. It's all love. Yes, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Kea Simone Help. Yes. So, y'all already know how this goes. When the letter gets crazy, go ahead and drop that what the what in the comments, okay? So this one I think it's a long one. So I'm sure we're gonna have a whole bunch of what the what's, okay? So when the letter gets crazy, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drop what the what. Okay. So again, I thank you guys for joining. Yes, this is Ginger. Yes. Ginger. You know, Ginger was out in the sun today. Ginger, Ginger, Ginger. So thank you, Sharon. Ginger made it out to play. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the letter up, put my glasses on, because y'all know I cannot see without my glasses, okay? So let's go ahead and get this letter going, okay? Ooh, it's a long one, so I'm just gonna warn y'all and let y'all know that this is a long letter. But go ahead and drop your hellos. Remember to like. Make sure you like my videos, guys. You know, show your girl some love. Thank you, Sharon. Hey, Trey. Listen, I got Ginger on today, Trey. You see her? So this is a long one, so I'm just gonna let y'all know. So I'm gonna put my glasses on. We're gonna get started with the letter. It's basically about is the marriage over or not. So help this brother out. So let's go ahead and just get started. Okay, so okay, let's get started. I don't really know where to start here. So apologies if this all a huge jumbled mess. So y'all just beware. He already let us know that it's probably going to be a jumbled mess. But I'll try to keep it as coherent as I can. My wife, 31, immigrated here a few years ago on a study visa and through our marriage has since obtained a PR. I'm not sure what a PR is, but let us know. This was confirmed in early December 21st. Sadly, her father, who still lived overseas, passed away suddenly in September 21. Oh, sorry to hear that. Due to the lockdowns which were in place at the time, she was unable to travel home to be with the family during that time. She was able to help assist organize the funeral and arrangements from here, along with her older brother, 38, and sister, 34. However, it obviously not the same, especially with an 8-hour time difference between locations. Having already lost both parents myself, I encouraged her to get over there as soon as borders were open. Thankfully, her employer was cool with it and offered the ability to work abroad on adjusted hours. Not only this, considering the circumstances, they offered her the ability to work for 3 months over there. Okay, thank you, Trey Max. See? I love y'all. They offer her the ability to work for 3 months over there. We discussed this at length. And I encouraged her to take as much time as she could, although mentioned she shouldn't work for the entirety of the time, obviously. She flew in mid-December and returned end of March. This meant we missed Christmas, New Year's, our wedding anniversary, and my birthday. Again, this was all put on the table to begin with, and I was confident enough in our relationship and knowing how important it is to spend time with the family you have left. Again, encouraged it. The time apart was tough for me. We don't have kids, and while we have a dog, I did get lonely. Aww. Probably on account of never having lived alone. Hmm. Okay. However, we both put in heaps of effort to be present as we could. Messages, video calls, audio recordings all made this easier. I live for the small crossover we'd have where we'd be able to video chat. It felt like having her with me. Aww. Before she left, she had mentioned how her mother had asked her to stay to help continue with life. My wife told me her mother wasn't coping too well and was worried about leaving her. I again tried to be empathetic, letting her know we could visit as often as we could and obviously host her mother here with us. Our place is more than big enough. Fast forward to the end of March. I pick her up at the airport at about 8 a.m. and basically break the news, running towards her, breaking the rules, running towards her to smother her with hugs and kisses. I don't ever remember a time feeling so happy and elated. My other half was back. I had been counting the days for her return. Once we got home and she saw my flowers, balloons waiting for her, she was understandably jet lagged and didn't manage to stay awake too long. She crashed out on the lounge and eventually retired to the bedroom. It took her a few days to get back into our time zone, which I had entirely expected. One day she looked a little sad. I expected this to be about her mom and the physical distance now between them. She asked if we could have a chat. I sat down next to her, put my arms around her. She told me her mother had asked her point blank to come back home and be with her. Okay. My wife said this was culturally her responsibility as the youngest, and the fact that everyone else has kids meant they can't uproot and go. I tried to delegate again, encouraging the fact she could go to and fro, and her mother could come here. She doubled down, and the responsibility and concern she had for her mother, now living alone, that if something happened, nobody would be there for her to help. She said she made her decision and that she'd be returning back overseas. What the what? I asked what that meant for us. She said she wasn't sure. It was adamantly a lot for me to ingest, but I suggested the idea of me following her back home, that I could tie up whatever roots I had here and we could establish our future overseas. I don't think she was expecting me to say that because of what she said next. Ooh, where is my tea? Ooh. She then hit me with the fact that after some fights we'd had over time, she wasn't in love with me anymore. That she still loved me, but she wasn't in love. That hit me hard. I was gobsmacked and struggled to find words. I don't remember the exact conversation, but it involved a lot of me saying we can work through this, go to couples therapy, and be better at communicating and grow together to be stronger than before. The phrase she keeps repeating is that she doesn't know how to get back to where we were before. I asked her if she wanted to. I was met with silence. Mm. After a time, I asked her if there was someone else. She said no. I asked her if anything had happened while she was overseas to give her this perspective. She said that something almost did. It could have, but she stopped it. I asked who. She admitted it was her ex. Despite this, I wanted to continue to fight for her, for us, to show her just how much I am in love with her. And I know what you're thinking. Being friends with an ex is like a red flag. Usually I'll agree, but I knew her ex was still around. It was something which came out when we first got together. My wife's best friend is cousins with her ex and friends with the circle over there. So he was around at social gatherings. Heck, we even spoke briefly on the phone during one of her and my calls. Trey. Okay. I should point this wasn't the first time I spoke to him. Haven't had been and still am platonic with exes in the past. I knew where they stood with one another, and considering their relationship ended a long time ago, I wasn't concerned. I had confidence in her in our relationship, and I've never thought of myself as a jealous man. I initially told her I was going to continue to fight for us and be the husband who made the vows to her, plus all the little things I do, having a coffee ready on her desk before she starts work, giving her a quick kiss whenever I leave the room. She always loved it. It doesn't seem like much, I know, but they are the things I do because I'm so happy she's in my life. She was okay with this, but as the days progressed, I could feel she wasn't. Until it whenever I'll give her a peck. It's hard to explain in words, but those of you who are unlucky enough to have kissed someone who isn't into it now know what I mean. And those of you know what I mean know how much it hurts, especially if it's someone you want to be kissing. So I asked her if I was being too much. I asked point blank if she wanted me to stop kissing her despite everything else. I'm not wanting to force myself on her any way, shape, or form, you know? She said she needed some time and distance. I asked why she hadn't said anything yet. She said she wasn't worried about hurting. She said she was worried about hurting my feelings. I tried to delicately say that hurting my feelings kind of pales in comparison to heartbreak. But I asked her to let me know if anything else I was doing was too much. I asked if she wanted us to sleep separately. She asked to do that. Since then, I've been in our spare room. That was all a couple of weeks ago. Now, since that reveal back in the first few days in April, things have been odd, you think? It's like we're in a weird space, sort of limbo state. I've never had a housemate before, but I imagine this is what it feels like. We coexist. We both still cook for two and we'll watch some telly after we're done with work. We both work remotely, but of an evening she'll head upstairs to call home and touch base with folks there. This is very suspicious. Begin at this point like a bit of different angles. She would often call home late into the night, our time. When this happened, I'll pop my headphones on and do some gaming. I'll read a book slowly, learning her language by listening to it. It was just part of our routine. Very rarely would she move away from the space. I didn't think much of it to begin with. After all, I'm trying to find our new normal, right? I noticed those calls were a lot later into the night than they used to before she went overseas. Again, not a red flag in and of itself. What tickled my spidey sense to begin with was she wasn't using her phone. Before all of this, my wife would often lose her phone in our house. Oh, once it was lost in our bed sheets for 2 days. I know what that says about our searching skills. But now when she leaves the room, even if it's just a piss, she takes her phone with her. Topping up her drink, phone goes with her. Into the shower, phone goes with her. And no, she doesn't play music while in there. Now, I should preface with the fact that I have never ever felt the need to search through her phone. We now each other's passcode and each other's fingerprints on our phone on phones. That's what people who love and trust one another do, right? Last week, as she was leaving the room, phone in hand, I caught a glimpse of her passcode. It was different than before. That again tickled me. Bruh, you don't need to be tickled. There was an occasion just 2 days ago where she asked me to pause what we were watching so she could pee. And watching her go, I noticed her phone was left behind on the lounge. I really not proud of what I did next, but I grabbed it, entered her new passcode, and jumped. Wait, how you know her new passcode? Oh, and jumped to her messages. Top of the list is her ex. My heart sunk. It broke even more, which I actually hadn't thought possible. I'm less proud of the fact that I went into the thread and took a look. A lot of it was a mix between languages, but was talking about how they have a new love that my wife did. Wait a minute. Did what she had to do last time, which I take mean breaking it off with him originally, maybe. There were messages exchanged from when she'd been cooking and words like, I can't wait to cook together or I can't wait to cook for you, which is basically things I had been saying to her while she was away. I didn't get a chance to go through media share between them as she was out of the bathroom pretty quick. Number ones don't take long. I had put her phone back in the screen state orientation. I found it to avoid suspicion. Again, I know it's not cool to snoop, but yeah. So this is where I'm at. I want to confront her, ask point blank if she's wanting to get back with her ex or if they are already back together. I have no doubt she'll deny it, but even if she does, I'm tired. I can't admit I know what I know without telling her I breached her privacy. And of course, like anyone who has been caught in that scenario, I anticipate the argument while shift from her cheating to the fact I went through her phone. Through a family member I've confided, I've been given the details of some legal counsel and who can advise where I stand and what options, both good and bad, I have. I'm yet to call them because, as stupid as it sounds, it just makes sense. It's more real. I think I know what has happened, but I'm just not sure on how to do it. Do I admit what I know, or do I just take the high road and end it? If we're done and there is zero chance of reconciliation, I no longer want to live together. Having her here, but at arm's length hurts more than when she was overseas. Ooh, that letter was long. Your girl Kea Simone is tired, okay? That was a long letter. He told us it was gonna be long. Ha ha ha. So Sharon says a lot of cultures expect the adult children to care for them. And I get it. But Sharon, with that, I believe that if he married her, you should know what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that they should have discussed prior to getting married. If you're setting up a life somewhere else that's like an 8-hour time difference, and you know that her parents are getting up in age. So I don't think he was totally sidetracked because again, those expectations should have been set, or she should have like let him know what her culture expectation was. Yeah, Sharon. Wow. Trey Mack says, if I didn't have any empathy for these types of situations, it seems like he got used to get her permanent residency. But that would be diabolical, huh? Shaking my head. The last friend is just a smoke screen. I'm sorry, the best friend. So yeah, like why is she talking to this friend so much? Like that's such a lack of respect. So I'm sure that he shared with her that he's not comfortable with it. So why is she like just continuing this relationship with this friend? And it's inappropriate. Other people cannot come in your relationship and disrespect your relationship without you allowing it. So the wife already set the stage for the friend to think that he can call any time of the night. And then now all of a sudden she's taking the phone to the bathroom with her. Like he said earlier in the letter, there was a time that she didn't, take her phone with her. So, for example, I'm in my house. Half the time I don't know where my phone is. I miss calls all the time because my phone may be in the bathroom because I do link it to my Bluetooth in the bathroom. So if all of a sudden I get a boo and he knows these are my habits, and all of a sudden I'm taking my phone to bed with me, I'm taking it in the shower, I'm taking it everywhere, or as soon as you get out the car, just to put something in the trunk, you're taking your phone. that's a bit much. So those are so many red flags. Trust your instinct. First of all, he already know the truth. She already said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. But so do you guys think that, okay, I want to ask this question. So let's say you're with someone and relationships, you could be in a relationship for a long time and it may not have butterflies anymore. So do you think that if you don't have the butterflies anymore that you can fall back in love with that person? Because that's kind of like what she's saying, like her and her ex broke up and they found each other again. So do you think that if she really wanted to work on it, that she can get the love back with her husband and get, what they once had? I'm just asking. um Trey makes it, buddy, there are red flags everywhere. Yes, Trey, there are so many red flags here. Multicolored flags. Yes. Yeah, she got that PR now, probably has dual citizenship. Probably. Um, she had a great plan. I agree. Trey said that best friend is nothing. That was just a pathway to end things. It was all about the citizenship. I don't know. Trey, why do she want to go back? You know what I'm saying? She's like telling him that she want to go back home. She doesn't want to live with him anymore. So it's like she wants to go back. So do you think she's playing him and gonna go back for a short time and then come back? I don't know. Like, I think he need to stop holding on, because I had a situation similar to this when I was with the husband and he kept telling me every day, like, this is not working, I don't want to be here. Okay, well, listen here, we're not gonna live together because this is not, if you don't want to be here, when are you leaving? So that's an odd situation to put yourself in, where you got to keep coexisting with someone that that it's over. Because again, you're used to sharing this space with someone, and then when the disrespect start coming in, you be like, now hold on now. Now I get that you don't want to be together, but that disrespect, the phone calls, staying out later than usual. So the guy that's writing this, stop trying to hold on to someone that don't want to be held on to. If she want to go back to the country wherever her mama is at, let her go and just pray on it. If it's meant to be, but I think she's long gone and she don't want to be there. That's what my opinion is. I think she's done. That's all I have for you guys, because that letter was super long. Okay, he did say he had a lot of nothing, because he could have just told us, like, listen, she moving funny, she doing a lot of strange stuff. Yeah. Sharon says she's young, 31. She probably doesn't want to care for her mom and rekindle that relationship with the ex. Wait. Yeah, sometimes we don't know what we want. And sometimes, like I said, the ex can give you her those butterflies again. Like I said, I've had people that see again and you be like, oh, what I'm saying? You get those old little butterflies. And then I had to start, thinking, like, when I get in those situations, like, what was it about you that I didn't like? What broke us up? So you just have to remember the bad, because there was a reason why you're not with your ex anymore. So, if she get with him and, like I said, you get what you deserve, will reap what you sow, if she's being shady like that. Trey says she is looking for any reason to get him to end things. A lot of people dislike being the bad guy, even if they are. I mean, but again, that's a level of disrespect. If you're any secret conversations in your house, so that's a whole nother level of disrespect. You're talking to another man while we're in the house together. That's a whole nother level of disrespect. So we're gonna give it to him because she's 31, but it's a dangerous game. And I told you guys I watch a lot of Snapped, and I know situations in real life where people snapped for real because people play with their emotions. So that's one thing you should never do, is play with someone's emotions. So this is real talk. So if you don't want to be with someone, you don't want to be bothered, let that person go. I always be praying. I'll be like, Lord, don't let nobody love me more than they supposed to, or like not, you know what I mean? Like when I say that, it's like don't have somebody madly like obsessed with me or whatever that they feel like that they want to kill me or hurt me, because I know that it's real, because it actually was a situation that was close to my family that happened. And so you just don't play with people's emotions. You never know. Um, if you don't want to be with someone, just say you don't and move on. Because when that person is enraged, you don't know how far it will go. And again, just stop. Don't play with people's emotions. It's not. You know, the consequences are they're too big. I know, but that's what I'm saying, Trey. They're disrespectful people, but that's how stuff happen. Like where we see those episodes of Snapped, those episodes where people black out. Just walk away. If you don't want to be with someone, just walk away. Don't lead people on. Just I know people that will get with someone for a place to stay or for benefits or whatever the case may be, or just because they're lonely at the time. Stop playing with people's feelings. That's all. Just stop. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on up out of here. I kept you guys long enough. Yeah. So I gotta go because I gotta get the dog ready. He's going to the groomers tomorrow. So I don't want to take him looking all the way a hot mess. So I'm gonna get him a little together and get him prepared to leave out here tomorrow. But until next time, guys, bye.